Well, hey, we're going to be learning about kids today. So, Steve, you've preached on children for 2 weeks in a row, but surely there's just so much content there you could possibly preach on from the Bible. So, what didn't make it into your sermon today?
Good. Well, actually, a lot. So one thing is, here's a text I just mentioned, but man, I'd like to say a lot more about it. I'm just going to read it now. I only read a little piece of it in the sermon, but this is Jesus on children. This is classic. So it says, and they were bringing children to him that he might touch them. And the disciples rebuked them. The disciples were like, get those kids out of here. He's the big man. He don't want to be messing with kids and all that. But when Jesus saw that, he was indignant. Now, I like that. Jesus is indignant that they had that view of kids. They're unimportant. They don't matter. Don't mess with kids in my life and all that. He was indignant, and he said to them, let the children come to me. Do not hinder them. For to such, the childlike, belongs the kingdom of God. Truly, I say to you, whoever does not receive the kingdom of God like a child shall not enter it. And he took them in his arms. This is cool. Picture Jesus. And he took them in his arms and blessed them, laying his hands on them. So there's some stuff in there that'll preach, right? Yeah.
That's a full mini sermon right here on Behind the Sermon.
That would have been pretty nice if we had spent some time on that. Also, here's another part from Jesus that I would have liked to spend some time on, but alas, the clock. He said, whoever causes one of these little ones, and in another passage, the little ones are identified as believers, those who believe in me, but here it's just little ones. Whoever causes one of these little ones to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. So if you make kids stumble into sin, if you make them stumble away from Christ, I think our culture is doing that right now in a bunch of different ways. Like we're targeting children rather, to lead them into sins. And Jesus says, it'd be better for you if a millstone was hung around your neck and you're drowned in the depths of the sea. Kind of strong words. Jesus wasn't mamby-pamby about that.
No, he wasn't.
So I would like to spend some time in that one, but also the Proverbs, man. The book of Proverbs is a treasure chest, especially the early chapters. I mentioned that in the sermon. But again and again, it's like, my son, listen to the voice of, or here's a classic proverb for parents. It's Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and even when he's old, he will not depart from it. Which, by the way, is not an absolute promise. You can train up a child really well, and they can still harden their heart and go their own way. But it's a general principle that there is a relationship between good, diligent parenting, godly parenting, and how the kids come out. So there are so many passages in the Proverbs that would have been great to get to.
And we don't even have time here, so we'll have to catch up with you guys again on Thursday.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome, Steve.